We're on air.
I didn't ask how big the local game store is. I said I play Spellstorm. That has been pretty much all of my games this week now that Fearne Calloway is legal. But let's get into this week's news. Let's break down the roadmap, some of the things that have been going out on websites, legal plays, and what's been going on. I'm once again, of course, joined by Cameron, my lovely co-host. How have you been, my friend?
I've been exhausted, but that's not going to change anytime soon during this month. So,
Any particular reason?
yeah, my job is moving buildings, and I've been given the lion's share of the responsibility of getting all that set up. So I'm actually going to be down at an empty building for 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, all by myself, unloading trucks and playing on UVS Ultra while I wait. So I told my locals, if you think about this game now, when it's running in the background as I'm working, I'm going to have no distractions, and I'm going to be nigh unstoppable.
Perfect time to buy TTS, get a laptop, and just play it in the empty room.
Yeah, possible, maybe. But I will have to actually go and unload trucks, and that unloading could take up to 45 minutes at a time, and then I have to set stuff aside, and
Just play Pony.
I don't
You'll
want
be
to do
fine.
anything like that. I'm going to have to worry about dealing with other people.
Okay,
'Cause I don't want them waiting on
but
me.
if I see you in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, I'm going to say, because those games take even longer.
Yes, they do. I don't know if the Wi-Fi there is good enough for something like Master Duel, so I am just going to be putzing around on UVS Ultra, working on. Me and my locals are using this time between now and the end of the year as kind of just a fun, goof off, maybe stretch our legs, well, stretch their legs a little bit until we get right down into what we're doing for Worlds. Even though I kind of already know, I've got my pick narrowed down to 2 different people for Worlds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just need to wait for the rest of the Guilty Gear stuff to be released,
Yeah,
so I
we've
can
seen
actually figure out what's going on.
we've seen 45 cards out of the 80. We've seen 45 out of the 80. There's 40 left to go.
40. I think we've seen. There's 47, including the Roman cancel token on Ultra, but that's not including the cards they showed on that token article.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
There's
those.
3 of them there, so we've seen maybe 48, close to 50. So we've got 30 cards left.
But we can get into the we can get to the token article. So we recorded an episode Sunday, and Monday they drop the roadmap, and this is kind of what everyone's been asking for last year. We've got fighting games back. We've got more My Hero Academia. We've got more Godzilla, the worst kept secret of 2026. We've got a reduced product schedule as well, and
I actually have thoughts on that.
And the thing that nobody asked for, we got Fairy Tale, which is a choice. We'll get into that when we go down the list. So we've got 3 challenges and 3 sets coming next year. This kind of caught people off guard. There's been a few people that didn't read the article or what stuff from the roadmap, just assumed we were getting 6 sets. They didn't know it was going to be a King of Fighters. It was going to be a King of Fighters challenger, and a Street Fighter challenger, and a My Hero challenger, and then a Tekken, Godzilla, and Fairy Tale set. So you said you had thoughts about this release schedule. Tell me what you think.
So at first I didn't think it was enough. I thought 6 products, 3 of those being Challenger series. Granted, from what we've heard, hearsay, each Challenger series might be at least 2 different decks. Because are we allowed to talk about the things we found out about the KOF one?
I've got it. I've got it on here, but yeah, it's
okay. Because we know there's 2 decks
public.
there.
Yeah, as long as it's public information.
Because we know there's 2 decks for KOF. Then we have the My Hero one, which we saw cards for, just image cards for All Might, Deku, Shigaraki, and All for One. So they're thinking that there's going to be an evil version and a good version. So you have All Might and Deku versus All for One and Shigaraki. So that'd be cool. And then they said that the Street Fighter 6 is part 2, part 2.
Yeah.
So if that follows suit, that's going to be two decks with two different characters in it,
From
which
the
would be really
roadmap,
cool.
it looks like it's going to be Bison, JP, Jury, and Cammy.
Which would be cool. So when you think about it that way, that it's split, you're getting two challenger decks per challenger series release, and then three hopefully good size sets, not like
AOT.
Guilty Gear, but also not like AOT
Yeah.
one. You know, those middle 180 card sets.
I don't think any
I
are Blitz
actually
boxes because they would have said Blitz boxes rather than sets.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like it's a normal size set.
Yeah.
I actually think this might be a really good thing because it eases, product overload. Because you look at Magic the Gathering, they're getting 6 or 7, I think, full
7.
sets,
Yeah.
7 full sets next year. That's insane. That's a lot of money to ask on your people. I know I thought that maybe get one full set a quarter and then have like make it two regular, two blitz, and then your three challenger series. That could be a good balance. But this will allow metas to breathe a little bit more, so you're not getting like a lot of these emergency like, oh, this needs to be banned, and then we have another set coming out the very next month, so they're not going to want to change anything.
Mm.
But this will give you a chance to breathe. You're going to have the same cards for multiple events. I'm assuming we haven't seen a competitive roadmap yet.
Yeah, OP
But if you
schedule should
get
be out by OP article and like everything should be out by the end of the month, so a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but if you're going to have like, oh, we have the KOF and then the Godzilla set, and when you have a full 3 regionals with with no changes in product up until, the next challenger series, I think that's actually going to be a really healthy way to do it because it allows the metas to breathe, it allows people to learn and react without having to worry about brand new cards coming in to, worry about shaking things up.
Yeah.
Uh, and it'll allow you to learn how to it'll allow the meta to settle. So you'll know okay, these are the big meta threats. This is what I need to worry about going in instead of, oh, did this one get something from this, but this didn't. So then it's constantly rotating.
That makes a lot of sense. And like you said, Magic is putting out 7, 8 sets a year. And on top of that, you've got your secret layers, your collector's boxes, your bundles, your commander decks, just your pre-con decks. Everything's on top of that. I expect to see some star decks with our products, but they're not designed for competitive play or casual play. They are literally onboarding products that might have some collector's value. So
Yeah.
compared to, say, what we saw in 2024, where we got 12 challenger decks and 4 booster boxes, and it was just every month there's something new, it's a good breath of fresh air. What I'm worried about is the alternate universe collectors bundles. They weren't mentioned at all throughout this, but we know that more are coming because they said so in the article. And I'm really worried they're going to become our secret lairs. That's going to be January, we see King of Fighters. February, we get Worlds. So we might see some like maybe Worlds player experience bundle or something in there. March, we get Godzilla. April, we get another play experience bundle. May, we get then we get, say, My Hero. May we get Tekken. Then we get My Hero in June. July, we get another play experience bundle. August, we get Street Fighter, and then we get another play experience bundle in September. October, we get Fairy Tail, and then November, December, we get more play. Like, I'm worried they're going to pad out the missing months with these play experience bundles.
Which could be something that they do. In that case, I wouldn't worry too much because it doesn't change as long as they don't radically change the characters that they're reskinning. It's less of a need and more of a, hey, that's something neat.
It
But
is for things like the S rank hunters or the T-shirt
but
ones.
that's because they fundamentally changed like some things on those, and then the
Yeah.
t-shirt ones, those were retro specific.
But the Shadow Monarch bundle, which we still don't know anything about, is 21 cards, 6 of which are dual facing cards, 4 brand new attacks, and 1 action that are all coming as
And
play
I've got
sets of
mine on
such.
pre-order.
All of which are coming, all of which are coming as play sets of each of them. So that has gone from a maybe item to going, oh, I don't need another Sung Jin Woo, to actually I need this play bundle. Like, in fact, it's going to have cards, especially if it's going to have more backups and more of these options. I need to buy this, and it's great. And what I was worried about, it was only going to be available from UVS, but we saw from distro they are going to be available from stores, and that is
Yeah.
a much bigger win, because I know, talking with people in Portugal and other things like that, shipping can get a bit nuts when you're ordering from UVS directly.
Or anything from the US right now, as someone whose main line of work is shipping and logistics. It's only gotten more ridiculous over the past year.
I need to look at Card Goblin and see if I can pre-order my Shadow Monarch bundle, because I need one. I need my Shadow Soldier boys. But yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of the
But
challenges,
I will say that of this, as long as you get full play sets of the cards, I think that's still kind of okay, because you only have to buy it once.
yeah, we only have to buy once for this. But what I would love to see is standard characters that were good, that didn't get, say, like, their heyday, coming back. So characters like Dabby 3. Dabby 3 was always overshadowed by Shigaraki 3. And now they're both going to rotate. If we can reskin Dabby 3, who was a very cool character, and maybe even buff him up a little bit, because that enhance wasn't great. I heard it got nerfed a lot in playtesting. If we can give it a little, just reprint it as is and go, we now still have all these check hacking cards coming in now. Let's see what Dabby 3 can do under a fairy tale character. That'd be really cool. Would be great to see. One of the ones were like reprint alternate universe of less popular IPs getting Outlaw Star cards over Cowboy Bebop cards. You've got the great opportunities of things like Not the Brave, and be able to go, here's your play experience bundle for VEF, which is the non-cursed version of Not. Spoilers for campaign 2. And when you get to Fairy Tail, there's literally an alternate universe of Fairy Tail canonical to the manga, where that you could just go, yeah, cool. Here's Natsu, and then here's Natsu, and we're just going to completely reskin it with Natsu from the alternate universe. It's a very cool concept if they do it properly, and with everything else that we talk about, if they do it in moderation. But yeah. I just don't want it being like the Shadow Mod, like the S-Class Hero one. We're seeing 3 $30 bundles and then a $40 bundle all in the space of a month.
Yeah, that's a little hard on the wallet.
So
I could only make the Shadow Monarch one work because I get an extra check this month.
I want the Shadow Monarch, but I also want to go to Glasgow, especially now I've heard that Response on Play going to Glasgow.
Are they? That's dope.
Response on Play's going, Tam Cardwell's going, Nate DeWalt's going, Mitchell Semino's going.
If I could afford it, I absolutely would, but I can only afford to travel once or maybe twice a year, and that's
There's a whole,
within my own country.
Yeah, if you go check out the Glasgow regional, there's a load of American players signed up. I know I was talking with Zane from Oceania, who was saying it was actually cheaper for him to fly to Glasgow and try and get the points to get in the top 4 of Oceania than trying to afford to fly to Texas, which is wild.
That's also not entirely unfair.
No, exactly. But I've got my own reasons for not trying to go to Worlds, and I've made that very clear in the content creator parts of Discord. I'm not going to hash it out here.
Yeah. But they're valid reasons. Valid
incredibly valid reasons.
As someone who lives here.
But let's get into the challenger decks, because we've got some information about King of Fighters 15, and I think that this might be the direction challengers are going now. You were talking about them being too decks, but I think they're going to be more consistently 3 characters because the King of Fighters 15 has been divided into teams rather than characters, and they're going to be coming in with a brand new 3v3 format for these challenges. And if we can kind of give challenges a release event, it's something I brought up at the summit repeatedly, is going, so we've got Team Rival, we've got Team Hero. In the beginning of January, they go, hey, we've got these guys coming out. As a release event, we're going to do UGM points based on whoever you support, Team Rival or Team Hero. You go to your local game store, you take part, you register as part of Team Hero or Team Rival, you get those decks, you battle out with your teammates at the event, but whichever team overall does best globally will get 100 extra loyalty points on top of whatever you sign up for.
So similar to what they did with the Cowboy Bebop Trigun release event.
Which was still very cool, but the fact that we're going to as teams, it kind of adds extra incentive to go, because it's cool, I can get additional points towards promos. And because challenges always come with their own promo, you get to go, cool, if my team wins, I'll get 100 points plus the 60 I got for going to the event. I can get myself a promo just for taking part, which would be great.
Yeah, and they'll probably have some promos for the Challenger series for King of Fighters, especially with that IP coming back after so long.
Yes.
And I do think that it would be cool to do like Challenger series as teams things, but I do know that was a core design philosophy for the King of Fighters sets back in Retro, was you had 3 characters that all shared 2 symbols each, and then they kind of had their same like play style. Like Team Elizabeth, all 3 of them were mill characters. You had Team Psycho Soldier, which were all about face down foundations.
I think you had Team K.
So I think Team K, but I don't remember. I think all of their stuff was about adding your foundations to your hand and using breaker abilities.
Yeah, the Doncaster guys entered like team events as Team K, like they all play one of each characters. But
yeah,
as cool as it is as a King of Fighters concept, it also is very cool as a challenger fight concept. Because
I think that's a really cool way to go about that.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, for the King of Fighters, it does make sense that they would go that design route, because that's kind of how they did it previously, and a lot of people have been asking for stuff like that to come back.
Do you know what that means for you, though? You get to make a video on the official teams rules, because that's what's going to be coming.
I know. I need to make... And I still need to work on other format videos, but like for the Hermit School, just because I've got Standard, Retro, and Spotlight, but that's because those are the easiest ones to understand. And I've never actually participated in teams before.
I really want them to change Spotlight.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
So I was talking with people from other card games and stuff like that, and it's a topic I want to do a whole podcast on. We don't have a casual format. We do not have a bridge format between starter decks and competitive. And I know Star Scrambles was supposed to fill that gap, but they haven't. You offered prizing for them, so therefore people got competitive. So for people that have joined just because they love TMNT or AOT or My Hero, if they want to play this game, they get thrown in from the starter deck to competitive, even at a local level, and they have to go up against every other IP we have. And the selling points of those IPs are they make your deck better. If I've joined because I love TMNT, I don't care about Attack on Titan. I'm being told I need Attack on Titan to make Bishop or Donnie or Michelangelo or Raphael work. Makes me feel like, well, I've got to spend more money to make a character work. This isn't for me. And you're going to back away. But if Spotlight changed from an event IP to a deck IP, it becomes more casual, it becomes more fun, and you get to go, cool, I can take all my TMNT cards, put them in a deck, and I'll play up. Yes, I'll go up against Attack on Titan, but I don't have to play those cards. I can just focus on learning my mechanics, learning my abilities, and playing the cards I love. And instead of them being told I need to play Attack on Titan to play in these events, I get to experience what these Attack on Titan cards do. I get to experience what my hero do.
So you're saying for Spotlight tournaments, any deck registered has to be single IP only, but they don't all have to be the same IP.
Yes. So you could have Michelangelo going up against Zeke. All the cards are from their own IPs. And it means that instead of having players going up against, basically going up against other TMNT characters, I get to see Ruin and Shift and all these things played against me. And I get to experience what they do. And I get to go, oh, that's cool. These are cool interactions, rather than being told I need to have them in my deck. It changes how I experience these. It becomes a lot more, and it's only a casual format. It's something this game needs. A casual format similar to Commander from MTG, and like what people just want to whip out a deck and play. It would be really cool. Because at the minute, if you're not playing a competitive deck, you're wasting your time. There's no casual decks that are just people, or even like 1v1. People are playing competitive decks, especially with how packed the regional season is and the fact that everyone needs points. You haven't got time to take Star Championships and stuff laxly.
Yeah, I need to come in second in my next, which is also my last store championship in order to make worlds right now.
So
I need to come second.
Things like PvE and Spotlight should be our casual format, and PvE is a bit harder because unless you've got a DM there to help people, it's not the most new player friendly. Because you need an experienced player there to talk them through it, or a DM there going, okay, this is what you can do, and like talking through it, adding an extra flair. But Spotlight for a single deck IP would be such a good win. Going to a regional and going, we're going to play Spotlight, and then you're not sat waiting for 8 people to want to play Attack on Titan. You just got 8 people that go, cool, I've just picked up a challenge deck. Is there a challenge event? No, but there's a Spotlight event, and your deck qualifies for that. So you can go take your Godzilla Challenger deck, and you can go play Spotlight, and you'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it was just something because I've been putting out more videos about shortfalls and things that need to change, from like even from reveals and stuff, and that was one of the things that has been on my mind. We don't have a casual format that people will just want to come and play. Everything has to be optimized. Everything has to be on there. Like, there's no just playing the game for the love of it aspect to events at a local level, even with Star Scramble. But anyway, that we were on the challenges, and I think I would love to see this 3-character team kind of feel go down the line as well. It would be a lot harder once we get to MHA because Shigaraki and Alpha One don't really have a third outside of, say, Gargantuan. But but it would be very cool to get a challenger deck for MHA, open it up, and you've got All Might, Deku 7, and say Bakugo. Which would be
that'd be kind of neat.
Because they're also the big ones in that arc kind of thing. It just seems something pretty cool. We also got to take a look at the Godzilla information. We got playmats, we got sleeves, and we got a little bit of information about what's going to be in there. We can see that we're going to get Mechagodzilla Kiryu, who's a new addition. Well, a new addition to what we knew for the set.
I was about to say, because no, that came in the Challenger series. It's not that new.
Burning Godzilla, which is just looks like a super hyped 1954 Godzilla. Whether that's going to be an alt art of the Godzilla in the set or a character by itself is up there. But the big one and I don't know if you saw my video on it or like so what's going on. 10 chromes.
Yeah, that's wild.
If this set is the same size as say TMNT, which had 15 characters, 2/3 of the characters in the set will be chromes.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll finally pull one.
I mean, with 1,000 chromes out there, it would be very unlikely. The pull rate's going to go up, and the issue it creates an overabundance. And yes, it's very cool. Oh, give me a second. I just need to do a big cough. It's very cool when you pull a chrome, but part of pulling the chrome is it's supposed to feel special, and it's supposed to be a harder hit rate. But then you
still technically is.
It is, but when you get things like the Godzilla ones, or where there was 6 altars, and then they also upped the pull rate of them, it didn't feel as special as say the Vex and Vax or the Spike and Vash ones.
I mean, I still didn't pull any of them. So.
Oh no, I pulled a Ghidorah, which I then sold for 400 and bought a AOT case. And then we found out they weren't worth that much. I was like, ooh, because I literally I sold it day one of release.
Hey, if someone's willing to pay for it.
Yeah. But no, man, Rated Kaiju seems really cool. It looks like we're going for this comic book art. That's fair way to fail. Word to fail. It says that they got a Ghidorah and absolutely love the poll. I mean, I've got the silk paper poster. I think 6 chromes was fair. 8 chromes was pushing it. 10 chromes just seems like too much. I don't know if it's just for the set, but to me it just feels like it's too much. I do love the art. Mothra Mothra just looks like an absolute beast. I love the golden sheen. And then
yeah.
They haven't confirmed it will be out of 100. This is true, way to fail, but I doubt they're gonna break convention on that and say reduce it down to 50. That'd be a bit weird.
Yeah.
So after that, we got, well, we didn't get it, but there's been talk now in the community because 2 months after we released TMNT at New York Comic Con, Magic announces they're doing TMNT, and I think Wizards of the Coast is actually legitimately scared of Universus at this point. Because look at this product. They've taken the exact same font of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we have. They've taken pretty much the exact same color scheme that we've taken. And then they've also taken the iconic orange band for Universus that we have on our boxes, on our starter deck, on our sleeve, on our boosters. And they've put it on their boxes. Yeah, they put it on the bottom rather than the top and on the side. But it looks like that meme of, can I copy your homework? Yeah, just don't make it look the exact same.
Yeah. And I've actually seen some of the cards. They even named some of the cards like we did, like Raphael the Muscle.
Yeah, Raphael the Muscle is a mad one. They have got Split, they have got Shredder, they have got Casey Jones. It looks like they're more going for
Krang.
A nostalgia kind of aspect of everything, because they have got the Mutant Mayhem Tales of TMNT April kind of look in there, but the art styles are all brand new, and some of them are really questionable. There's been a couple of cards in there going, oh, it's cool that TMNT are giving homage to the Michael Bay Turtles. Because
That's a choice.
That is a choice. And then you've got the fact that they've changed up the weapons, because Raphael isn't using size, they're using jitels, and Michelangelo isn't using nunchucks, he's using batons. It's a very weird choice. For me, the big thing is the packaging. That, if you look at the bundles or you look at the booster box, it's just our stuff. Oh, and did you know they're also doing boss battles?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so they put in a team up boss battle in there. So they've got a PvE event now in there as well. Yeah, they've got the Commander X and stuff like that. It's just, yeah.
So I got your next conspiracy theory. Didn't we get Bill Stark from Magic the Gathering?
Oh, we got a few. We got a few.
One of them's a sleeper agent working for Magic the Gathering.
I doubt it. I-
I know, but there's your next tinfoil hat corner
I'm pretty
conspiracy theory.
sure Matt Smith, who was the lead for our TMNT, is from MTG as well. We've got one of the designers that did an article. It is from MTG. Honestly, I think they just. I wouldn't put it. That was for anyone from UVS listening. That was Cam's opinion. For me, I don't think anyone that would lead. If you're working for MTG, you wouldn't become a sleeper agent at Universus unless Wizards of the Coast is legitimately scared of us.
Concerned. I
But
mean, hey, they started doing their like Universal stuff, getting all these different IPs in here. We've been doing that for years before that, and now they're
yeah,
seeing that pick up, and they're like, "Oh, maybe we could start doing that." And it's just,
yeah. But I
hmm.
mean, that was kind of thing. Like
Yeah, I don't think Magic's worried about us at all.
we're 20 years old at this point. We've been doing it for 20 years, and we kind of had a monopoly on the multiversal IP fighting for a very long time. But now there's Vice Sports and there's Union Arena and MTG are doing it, and there's a lot more out there. And I think they did a study like not only 9% of MTG players actually hate Universes Beyond. What for me, I don't want to lose the future of TMNT because of Magic.
Yeah,
Going,
because we know they can shell out more money.
it's not just that. Looking at the set, looking at the cards that were revealed and stuff like that, it's not a narrative. It's not a narrative. It's not following the TMNT IP. They could have easily printed any other cards with these abilities and thrown them on there. But because that's what they're on, that's because Magic cards are kind of interchangeable with that. And the fact that they're pulling from the last 38 years of TMNT to make this set is me thinking this is like a one and done situation. But with the TMNT, with the Tales of TMNT trailer 2 dropping, with the Chrome Alone for Christmas before SpongeBob, with Mutant Mayhem 2 coming out in 2027, I don't want us to lose that follow up because of this. Because universes did follow a narrative. We did follow the Mutant Mayhem Tales of TMNT and a little bit of Core 2 in our sets, and then we used 1987 as like a love letter, as going, here's some art from it, but narratively, we're sticking with the most recent IP. Whereas the art, the style is from the last 3-4 decades in MTG. And yeah, Wizards of the Coast might not be scared of us, but something here just is so blatantly targeted at us. Yeah, they can say the orange is because it's Nickelodeon, but the choice to make it a banner, the choice to put it on the sides of the products, the choice to look like us is weird.
Yeah, you would think the someone in market research might have seen that and gone, "Should we change that, maybe?"
What I do, yeah, and what I don't want it to do is to lead to a negative play experience for us of someone seeing our box, seeing the orange band, seeing the font of the TMT, picking up a pack, buying it, and going, "These aren't Magic cards. What the hell is this? I've been scammed," and having a negative experience
Yeah.
of us because the boxes look so similar. I don't want it to be a Hydrox Oreo situation where we came first, but Oreo can throw more money around and make it look like we ripped them off.
Yeah. Yeah, I do worry about that sometimes, especially since, they have been picking up so many IPs that would be kind of cool for our game, like Avatar: The Last Airbender. they picked that up, and I was like, that would have been neat for us to get. But now, are people just going to think that we're copying Magic?
I don't want Avatar yet. So, someone put us on Discord, and it's a case of IPs are not as exclusive as they used to be. MTG did Godzilla first, then 2 years later we did it. We did Street Fighter first, then MTG did it, and now we're doing it again. It gets passed around. They did D&D, we did Critical Role. Godzilla has its
They
own...
did Doctor Who. We haven't crossed there yet.
We did Lower Decks, they're getting Star Trek. Godzilla has its own card game overall. It's very interesting, but I personally, if I was in UVS, if I was like going from there, I wouldn't want to touch Avatar until Seven Havens was ready. Because if I can drop a Avatar The Last Airbender booster box in, say, 2027, and then Seven Havens can get going, and then I can drop a Legend of Korra in 2028, and then when Seven Havens is wrapping up, I can drop a Seven Havens to coincide with the end of that, and even do it like, even if you did it in part 1, 2, and 3 and stuff like that, if you can coincide when it's at its most hype, that's when it's really important. And one of the cool things is the fact that TMNT has got so much hype with the new Tales of TMNT IDW comics, the new grittier IDW comics, the fact that Tales has got a new season, the fact that they've got a new shot coming, the fact they've got a new movie coming, and even though Magic has all this, it's still going to be good for us because people are going to look up TMNT cards, and we are for the first few months. The SEO is going to show us. Why? Because we've already got content with thousands of views on Turtles. We've still got cards.
We're more established at the front.
So you're gonna look if someone doesn't look up MTG Turtles and just looks up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards, we're going to show up and they're going to come up from here. And I think it's going to lead to some accidental spillover, which is really weird. Which is, again, why would you make your product like ours? You're just making it. People are probably going to end up buying ours, mistaking it for theirs.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
It's definitely a choice.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, some people are saying that I'm kind of coping that way, and when I'm thinking that it's going to lead to the same kind of searches, but next week I need to do an admin day. I've got like 12 drafts in there. At the same time, I'm going to go get all my TMNT videos, and I'm going to add some tags for like MTG and stuff, like MTG Turtles, so my stuff pops up. The game, like,
smart idea.
All the stuff, and we're going to indirectly benefit because we've got the game-genic accessories, the sleeves, the mats. They're really cool, and it's a case of I don't see Magic having this stuff out yet, but people that are ready to go can do this, and it's going to be really cool. So there is going to be some spillover, some kind of crossover. That's similar to what is happening with Riftbound, where people are going, we want to get a hold of Riftbound, and going, cool. And they're seeing that UVS do other games, and again, it might just be cope, but I think it is going to lead to more people finding our game, searching for this.
That's definitely a fair point.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see it happening.
What I wouldn't want people to do, and this is completely sincere, do not go shitting on Magic. Do not go attacking them because they came second. Do not go. I mean, if you want to talk about the pizza art lands and how terrible they look, go for it, because that's an objective opinion. That's a subjective opinion you've got about the art. I didn't say objective because it's kind of like everyone hates them. But if you want to go in there and go, oh yeah, Wrath the Muscle is cool, but is it as impactful to MTG as Wrath the Muscle was for Universus? There you're drawing a comparison, and people have to go away and look at our cards to actually answer that question and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's something like when they announced the Nickelodeon crossover, people going, it's going to be TMNT, and I was like, I can't see being TMNT this close. And people have been tagging me in the comments now on TikTok and other things going, see, I told you it was TMNT. I went, yeah, that's cool. Doesn't detract from the fact that they've announced this 2 months after this other card game did a really good job adapting the IP. Because
Yeah.
it has people going. Some people might not do it, but people reading that comments are going to go, "Oh, I'll go check out this other game that did it."
Yeah. So get your Magic the Gathering TMNT deck, go get a Universus TMNT deck of the same character, play both, and you decide which one's better.
I mean, be very interested to see what the boss battle's going to be. If they're going to throw Mega Minion in there or if they're going to stick to the more Technodrome kind of safe options.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've harped on about this long enough. The art is kind of questionable. There's always been some broken cards going for that, but I haven't followed MTG in years. This is the closest I've been to following it. The big kind of news is Fairy Tale. To me,
Yes.
MHA being back was big for everyone, and we can see it's going to be Iron Might and All Might. Tekken 8 with King and stuff coming back is going to be really cool, but
I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for a fighting game full set. I was hoping we'd get a Street Fighter 6 full set, but I'll take Tekken.
I'm hoping we're going to see some more Mortal Kombat soon because it's on the rise. The second movie's coming out soon with Johnny Cage. The third movie has already been announced. And yes, they're live action movies, but that doesn't take away from the fact we can capitalize on it with a set.
Yeah. Or we could do something kind of like we did for the Tekken promo characters, and we could have a promo set that could go out for like local store championships and stuff like that, or like Tekken tournament. And like, hey, here's some characters that aren't in the set, but we sent enough to the stores that you can kind of pass them
Yeah.
around, trade them around, and then put them on the redemption store later. Because that's a good use of points. Is cards that I can't get pretty much anywhere else instead of just alternate arts that I don't really care about.
But yeah,
Like I said, I dumped like 2,000 points on those Critical Role Gen Con promos
oh,
that we talked about when you
yeah.
thought we were recording.
I already own them, and I dumped 1,800 points into them because I know critters that want them. But
Yeah,
Fairy
but
Tale,
like I'm excited for that, and I think
yeah.
I think they should do like since they have done like rotating uh rewards where it's like, oh, this week we're gonna have these cards and then this new stuff, and then like for a month they'll keep certain rewards, like what they did that for the TMNT card that kept selling out, where it was still there every week and they refreshed it. Do that for like new characters that you didn't have enough room for the set, like maybe another team for KOF. You have a third team that's just the character cards that
Hmm.
have like similar symbols and stuff for those decks, and they're just promo characters,
that
and then
might
make them like max of 2 on the store so you
that
don't
might
sell out
fall
all the
under
time.
like the play experience bundles rather than like the redemption star kind of thing. But
Well, true, but I'm just saying, like, instead of like completely reskinning characters, like if you wanted to add more characters but didn't want to make a full set, and be like,
yeah,
hey, we've got these 3 extra characters, you can get 2 of each, 2 copies of each on the redemption store, and I think that would also be pretty cool.
as cool as it is that we've just had like these TMNT play packets coming in, you could do the same thing with the monthly play. Like when we had the Plus Ultra packs and there were characters in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
have some ready for the redemption store, but have them go into play. Have these Tekken 8 characters that I don't know Tekken 8 at all. But say you could have
Kuma, do the grizzly bear. That's hilarious. I don't think he needs to be in the full set, but make him a promo character.
yeah. Or you could just put like Akuma.
That's Street Fighter.
Ah. But yeah, well, you
Let
can
me look
put
up a Tekken 8 roster.
it's fine because I don't. So wait, file.
Oh
I
my God.
don't think
Lars Alexanderson.
I
That
don't
is
think we're
the
going to see any
whitest
blitz.
name I've ever
I don't
heard.
think we're going to see any blitz boxes because the blitz box we saw this year was for an IP that was announced as part of the roadmap. I think they want to see how this blitz box is going to do first before doing more of them in say 2027. Because I think it's something I want to reach out to UVS for like an interview about. But I think Blitz boxes are designed to do the same kind of thing that Challenger decks are designed to do. They're designed to show IPs what we can do with their products. So, like how we've got how we had the Tekken clashes before Tekken, how we had the Godzilla challenges before Godzilla, how we had the Critical Role challenges before Critical Role. It was kind of like a dip your toe in the water kind of thing. But a challenger cannot
I agree.
always fully display what the design team can do with an IP. So if they go, yeah, we
So I
can.
just sent you something on Discord. This dude's name is Victor Chevalier. Tell me this doesn't look like a white-haired Jeff Goldblum.
So it does. So yes, if
Okay.
if you took say Guilty Gear where they couldn't really go, we're going to take 4 characters and we're going to show you what we can do. Similar to Star Trek Lower Decks. Star Trek Lower Decks to me should have been a Blitz box.
Yeah.
It had the characters in there. It could have been easily been a Blitz box. And I think that is what they took from that 4 decks, is that could be a mini set. So you get
Yeah,
Guilty
because
Gear.
when you have the 4 decks, it does get really expensive when you need, especially 2 copies of each of these $30 decks to complete a set. A Blitz box makes that a lot easier, but like you were saying, for something small like Guilty Gear, if they wanted to add that tension mechanic, they couldn't do that with like a Challenger series. That had to be more of a full set thing.
Yeah. So you to make it equivalent across all the symbols they wanted, to give the characters the true kind of translation, because to make sure they get the symbols that they wanted. A Blitzbox did it, and it's a small one. Cases still come with the same amount of boosters, despite being a bit more expensive now. You get to showcase more of the IP, but with a much smaller set, because we've done 80, 90 card sets before with the main boxes. So Blitzes to me feel like an in between area between challenges and main sets. So I don't think we're going to see it in the next year. I think the only things we're missing from here are the play experience bundles and maybe some Clash decks, but I think the Clash decks are more going to come in with Godzilla, Tekken, and Fairy Tail.
Yeah, the starter deck, the
Yeah.
starter decks for those. I
Sorry,
could see
yeah,
that.
not Clash decks anymore, the starter decks. But
Yeah, because they definitely have said, I think Lenoco had mentioned like, hey, the year's not over yet. We could still surprise you with some stuff this year. I'm like, doubtful, but also prove me wrong. But
they didn't
I
even
could
play.
see them definitely. I can definitely see them if they think they have something like ready to go. Like, hey, we could like drop this. It's something small, like a starter deck that's introducing a new IP, kind of like how they did with Tekken last year.
Yeah,
Something like that, just thrown in that we weren't expecting because it wasn't on the roadmap.
it
I
wasn't
could
on the
see something small
summit.
like that still being added.
So given that it's been like over a year now, at the summit we were kind of given a foreshadowing of the IPs to come that we didn't even know about yet, and Tekken was nowhere on our radar. So Tekken was a shock to us as well.
Yeah, so I could definitely see them for like surprises, but I don't think surprises are going to be like a challenger series or a full set. I could
No.
see like a starter deck, maybe some promo characters. I could see something like the experience bundles being
Yeah,
like surprises down the line for new IPs and stuff like that.
but
But
what I
I
don't,
do think that how they're doing it now is a good smooth uh, roadmap.
as long as we don't do the mechanically unique cards. So Fearne and Dorian are a perfect example. The only way you can get them was to be at Gen Con or to have redemption points. So a new player has no access to them. Because if a new player has been playing
True,
long,
but if would you feel better if the Fern and Dorian were sent out to stores to either have as like entry promos or victory promos, stuff like that? Um, for like, hey, this month we're doing these critical role things as an addition to like the TMNT packs. It's like, oh, you enter, you get a random promo. If you win the tournament, you get to choose one of the promos so that you can fill out your collection that way.
yes and no. I'm just not a big fan of putting mechanically unique cards, especially powerful ones, behind a paywall. Like Fresh Cut Grass was a cool casual card, But if it had been, say, Recovery Girl 2.0, people would have kicked off that you had to pay to get something that powerful. And your Forger is not a card that's ever going to see competitive play, but was put behind a paywall. But even then, both of those were sent to stores to hand out. Fearne and Dorian are in this kind of weird place. And even if they get sent out to stores, they may not get in the hands of newer players because, like I said, if they go to a local championship or Star Scramble, so like you're adding you're adding a competitive edge to them. What I would absolutely love to see happen with these is then be sent out for the Critical Role PvE Jester battle, and you get to go take on who they've not announced who the boss is, but I'm saying it's Ukatoa, and say take on Ukatoa. Just for taking part, you'll get your event points towards Foreign Jester, and you get one of these 4 promos. So it rewards you for going back in because you get to get all 4, and you're even if you don't get enough points to get Foreign Jester, you're still walking away with something, and it matches in with the IP.
I could see that.
But yeah, more PvE I think is going to be great, but I want them to move away from the digital files. I want more of the cards. If Mega Mutant had been a card, that'd be really cool because, again, it's something collectors would want. And if you own the card, you're more likely to play with it. If I had friends come around who love TMNT and like, oh, what's that Mega Mutant card? It's like, oh, it's a PvE. It's for Universus. I've got some decks made up for it. Let's sit down, let's run it through. It'll take about an hour. Yeah, depending how quickly we play. But it's really cool. But it's not going to have that same effect if like it's all documented. Because I've got like my Critical Role ones there ready to be displayed. I can't do that with Mega Mutant. And I would absolutely love to see that with the Godzilla stuff, or if we get stuff in Tekken. I don't know if there's some kind of big bad Tekken.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't played Tekken since Tekken 6, I think. Whatever one was on the PSP. I played that one. And
Fairy Tail can. Fairy Tail has a lot of bosses. Wakefield, I don't know if Cardio can do that, but trying to get even a promo code to use in the shop. Yeah, I think they said it's going to be event points, so I don't know quite how it's going to work. But a redemption code that allows you to get access to a Fearne and Dorian or like get access to the Ford Adjuster would be very cool. I've got my own issues with Redemption Star. But let's move on to Fairy Tail. Now, I have got a friend who is willing to come on and talk about Fairy Tail in more detail so we might do that at a future time because I know, Kevin, you probably don't know the most about Fairy Tail.
My extent of knowledge of Fairy Tail is the Fairy Tail rap cipher from, I believe it was Game Boy Jones, and then the Portgus D Ace versus Natsu death battle.
Oh, God.
So, no, I know nothing about Fairy Tail.
So Natsu won that, right?
Yeah, because he killed Ace with electricity, and I was like, well, as soon as Ace turns into fire, he can just eat him. So, yeah. I mean, this fight's a non-starter.
That's the whole... What do you mean he used electricity? He just eats him.
They didn't want to end the fight automatically. I mean, you got to build up. It's for entertainment. You got to build it up.
But yeah,
if anyone out there likes nerd stuff and rap, the Game Boy Jones Fairy Tail rap cipher was really good. I didn't understand any of the like bars about the people, but it was still good.
The Pro Hero and the 1A one is really good as well.
Yeah, I think was it Game Boy Jones that did the Pro Hero one? I thought that was Diggs.
It might be
we could spend a whole hour talking about nerdcore, all that, but
yeah. So Fairy Tail is now. There's been some discussion between me and other people in the Discord, and even between me and UVS about this. Fairy Tail is the story of Lucy Hartfell, not Natsu. I will.
That's the girl with the keys, right?
Yes. So
okay, I know that one.
Yes. So Natsu is I'm not going to get into spoilers for everything, but Natsu is a Dragon Slayer, and Dragon Slayers are a magic taught to them by dragons, and because the dragons have left, there's only a limited number of Dragon Slayers in the world. In the first episode, we follow Lucy, who is trying to become a writer, trying to become a journalist, and wants to interview the salamander, who is Natsu. And the leading theory and like leading discussions and like everything that's going online is the entire fairy tale anime manga, like everything's going on, is Lucy's memoirs. It's all about her adventures with fairy tale, and because we don't, although we follow other people throughout their adventures for time skips, for training and stuff like that, it's always about Lucy's always there. It's always about following Lucy's perspective outside of stories that she's been told about. So that's like, so when like when UVS did the roadmap, I was like, why is Natsu front and center when Lucy's the protagonist? And then I got called a massive nerd because I was going into no, it's Lucy's story kind of thing. Yeah, Fairy Tale is the story of Grey Filibuster coming to terms with wearing shirts and with Natsu for not barging on people in the bath. The big thing for me with our adaptation of Fairy Tale is we're doing the manga, not the anime. And that makes me so happy because the anime has so much fan service and filler and stuff that is just so early 2000s coded in it. Whereas the manga is just we're going to have this AOT kind of treatment, but I think we're going to not see the symbol colors being like dominating the image like we did with Attack on Titan. I think it's going to be more colorized, action-packed. Yeah, I think it's going to be full colorized, action-packed imagery, and I think it's going to. Fairy Tale is one of the ones that when we were saying like we're working with Kodansha, I was like, give me Fairy Tale.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So the main people in Fairy Tale that we follow is Lucy Hartfelt, who uses celestial magic. So she uses keys to unlock celestial gates to summon.
And this should give us more spells, right?
Yes, 100%.
It's all magic stuff.
100%. We're going to see a lot of spells from this, but
except for this red-haired knight lady, she'll probably just have weapons.
She uses summoning magic. She changes her armor and weapons, and she summons them from a storage.
Requip magic. Okay, yeah. I'm reading on the wiki right now because I know nothing about Fairy Tale. I'm just going through.
No, that's fine. So yeah, Lucy uses celestial key magic, and to me, we're gonna see assets that become backups because she uses these keys to summon allies that can bolster or heal her or give her more abilities or attack for her. So I'd love to see like a key of Pisces and then have that turn into a Pisces backup, which has these effects, or a key of Cancer or anything like that.
That'd be interesting.
Fairy Tale has so much that we can pull from it, and the thing with the Dragon Slayers is they all have like their element or their aspect that they like. So you got your poison dragons, your sound dragons, your dark dragons, your light dragons.
I do remember that from the Dragon Slayer cipher from Connor Quest.
So yeah, Natsu is a fire. He was trained by the fire dragon, Igneal, and he can consume fire to make himself stronger. And different types of fire give him more magic. So
you know what would be interesting is if he had a defensive ability where the first like unblocked fire attack dealt no damage.
I was more
something like that to show that he can absorb it.
Just outright on face, if this attack contains the fire symbol, it deals no damage.
Well, that would be just absolutely dumb. I think you'd have to gate it, or else you would run into so many just non-fights of just like, oh, I'm playing Porco. Oh, cool. You're playing against a Natsu. You do nothing, Jon Snow.
I'm gonna play Devil Jin. You're going to do nothing.
Fried Justine. Oh, Justine doesn't look. Oh, that's a dude. Oh, it's Freed.
Oh,
Okay, I thought it was
Freed.
Fried.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah, you got
Well,
Laxus,
usually
who
it's spelled differently when I read it as Freed. So
no,
usually there's an e at the
no,
end. I just read
yeah.
that as Fried.
There's loads of them there. There's multiple guilds. You got your evil guilds. It gets very complex. So I'm very interested to see where this goes because this isn't like Heroes of Exandria or Battle for Humanity. It just says fairy tale. We don't know if this is going to be a multi-set thing. It should be. It 100%
It
should
certainly
be.
seems big enough.
The entire
Bulletin board.
like
That
guild
sounds
war
cool.
could be a whole set, but ideally for me, I just want this to be like a Heroes of Exandria esque set where we're just getting the fairy tale guild because they've already got enough members in there. Uh,
10 Wizard Saints.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot in here. I could
yeah,
absolutely see like an Attack on Titan level to where you're getting multiple. You could get like a set per guild. You can have sets per arcs. I could definitely see this being because back when they started Attack on Titan, they were talking about tentpole IPs,
yeah.
and that's what they expected Attack on Titan to be before it took over us for like a year and a half. But I could definitely see getting like a fairy tale set each year moving forward for like 3 or 4 years.
So temple IPs is something I do want to make a video on, but I want to do some more research and get a good script going for that. But
I do it live. Technically not. I just wing it. I don't script. I'm
uh,
so amateur. It's not even funny.
no, so most of my videos are not scripted, but some of the ones like my learn to plays, or if I want to go into more in depth, like my psychological one, which was like becoming a better player by understanding your opponent stuff, I script those out because I want to make sure.
Or why Guile is three kobolds in a trench
Yeah,
coat.
that doesn't need an
Yeah, you
explanation.
had to do
He
your
is,
research.
yeah, he is just three kobolds in a trench coat. But my concern with Fairy Tale is it's too old to be a temple. It came out in the early 2000s. It's had a revival now, but it's too controversial in its anime for us to rely on it as a onboarding IP. It's although we're adapting the manga, people are still gonna go. Fairy Tale has its issues with, say, Grey constantly stripping, Juvia's yandere aspects. Uh, the fact that Natsu keeps walking in on Lucy when she's changing or when she's in the bath because he has no social boundaries. It's a it's problematic in its own way. But the biggest thing is, although it's still cosplayed, although it still has the community there, it's not marketable anymore. So I in the build up to this, I went around my local town. I went around some surrounding areas, and Robin went around London. And the amount of fairy tale merch in these stores that specialize in anime and manga and geek collectibles was slim pickings. And that to me is
Hmm.
not a good sign that this is a marketable onboarding product. It's more a community kind of engagement product to people that are already like to people that are already fans and like already love the IP. It's not going to be bringing in newer people.
That makes sense. When I heard tentpole, I thought of things that were pre-established that had a long shelf life. Like Attack on Titan was very long, even though they kept saying the last season, yada yada. But something like My Hero Academia, where it's got so many seasons, something like Demon Slayer, or like Bleach or Fairy Tail, older animes that have gone on for a long time, those tent poles are things you can keep going back to the well for to keep going. But I see your point on maybe it's too old, so it's kind of not in the cultural zeitgeist anymore. Maybe we could use our old school roots of fighting games as tent poles because those you could draw back to the well because you have the newer games, Mortal Kombat 1, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, but there is still a lot of love for the nostalgia of the old ones like Soul Calibur 2 or Soul Calibur 3 is finally getting a PS5 port. I might look into that because I loved that game as a kid. I Zasalamel was my boy. But maybe that could be something that we could use for tentpole IPs to kind of hold the game up because not only could you get the newer games, but you could still go back to the well for the nostalgia of the older ones without having to worry about the marketability of older anime that people might not have seen because they're, you know, children.
Yeah, and so this is the issue we're having with TMNT. This is the issue we have in general. To put it in a article builded last year, we need not only to make our cards in a way that new players understand and old players still find engaging, the IPs need to do that as well. It needs to bring in new people and still be engaging for the people that are already here. And the fighting games are goddamn perfect this because these are new fighting games or fighting games that are still very heavily played. Street Fighter 6, King of Fighters 15, Tekken 8 have still got very active events and communities, and it's something that we've already built around. Godzilla's already been proved to be popular. My Hero was this game at its most popular. But even with
Until the big sick took over. But yeah.
But even with the new the new anime that came out last year, Fairy Tail is on a decline. And I know it's something like Richard likes to talk about as well, is if we got Genshin Impact. But Genshin Impact's on the same thing. It's over its peak, it's over its hill. There are more and more games coming out that are very similar, and we got new stuff like that. TMNT.
Do you think this could be a problem with the planning 2 years ahead?
No,
because they might have been planning this fairy tale 2 years earlier, thinking that it was still gonna.
I think Fairy Tail is wanting to kind of utilize the best of what we had in the Kodansha deal, and I'm not saying that Fairy Tail is a bad thing. What I'm struggling on these 6 IPs is to see our onboarding product. So last year we had Attack on Titan. That was our onboarding product. That was meant to be our tentpole. This year we had TMNT. Personally, I think Critical Role would have been a much stronger one to put our money behind as a onboarding, and because it generated a lot of hype. But TMNT was the new cards, the new IP, the new way to see the turtles, but with alternate arts and a kind of like a love letter to the old turtles. So bridging the new with the nostalgia. There's nothing on this list that kind of does that for me. There's nothing else I can see as being the big onboarding IP that Gen Z are going to want to come and play this game for. And
yeah,
that's what I was kind of saying, like, with Avatar Stairbender, waiting till Seven Havens comes to make a Avatar Stairbender set or challenge or anything like that would be the play, because you're going to get the people of our age who grew up on Aang's adventures. You're going to get the people in the generation one below us who had Korra's adventures. And then you're going to get people of, say, Flynn's age, because he's going to be 10 at that point. So I'm going to be more inclined to teach him this game, who has also seen Avatar, Aang and Korra. So we're going to watch that together, and then we can play the game. And it's going to be a good bridge between the old and the new. It's a good tentpole because, no offense, like the majority of our players, we're not getting any younger. That I know we have our fair 18 to 28 crowd, but the majority of us are over 30. And we're going to keep dwindling as life keeps getting more complicated for us. I know there's a fair amount of us that are pushing our 40s and 50s at this point. So
it's a really good thing we don't have sponsors, because that's a hell of a rip to try to bounce off of. Like, we're not getting any younger. Death is marching on, coming for us all. Thank you to our sponsor for just. Ugh,
Universe,
thanks.
yeah. But I mean, if Universus wants to launch a midlife crisis experience bundle, then make a hell of a killing. They're like, but
One of every it's like $100. It's one of every character from the retro series.
but yeah, it's a natural part of life. We age, we get older. We still love this game,
Some of us are losing our hair.
but it's a natural part
You
of this
can't
game.
see it because
And
it's like right here for me. But
this year, I couldn't go to Spain because I was moving house. I couldn't go to Chelmsford because my son had stuff that I needed to do with him, and like he had friend commitments and birthday parties, and it's like I had to put that on the back. I had to put regionals on the back burner because I had family commitments. I was able to go to Albuquerque because it was a summit and it kind of tied up nicely, but life gets more complicated the older you get. And we need this influx of 14 to 28-year-olds that have got more time, more freedom, that have got this energy and can to travel and take part in events and can bring in their friends and can kind of this because I am an introverted 36-year-old person who spends more time chatting with my 8-year-old than any other adult that I know, and that includes my husband. So I am not a person who's going to be able to onboard this game outside of my content. But if my brother-in-law found an IP that he loves, if we say got Hollow Knight, and I could sell my brother-in-law and play this game with me, he could go to college and he could get people in his college playing, and then colleges have clubs and they can run events, and universities can do stuff because you've got anime clubs in there. You could get TCG clubs going. You could get the things going. It spreads like a crack in glass. And
yeah, there's actually a TCG club at the college that's near one of my locals, and I've been asked to go teach Universus there
yeah,
before. So
exactly. And I'm not saying that we're not a valuable market for our age group, but we're in
because we're the
market.
ones with the money.
Yes, but we're the ones that also get. But we're the ones that also get smaller and smaller as we have to get that point of diminishing return of, is this game worth the reward we're getting from it?
I am old, Yusuke.
We're all old. And on this list there's some very cool stuff. And My Hero, Godzilla. My Hero is a good one for everyone because it's 10 years old next year. That's insane, but it's still drawing in the numbers. Godzilla,
And it's we didn't even talk about this. It's Universus's 20th year next year, so I
yes.
wonder if they've got some cool stuff in the works for that.
Oh, they've got to. And we've still got like champ cards we haven't seen.
Yep.
But I don't know. I'm kind of just ranting here, and I have been for like 30 minutes. But if I was 20 years younger, and I was looking at this list, I would just be like, "There's nothing on here that would sell me." Fairy Tail is an old anime. My Hero is an old anime. It came out in 2016. Godzilla
Ugh.
Godzilla's still relevant, but it depends on my like relationship with it. So when I was 16, my relationship with Godzilla wasn't great because it was also a reflection of my relationship with my dad. But that's a whole thing for my non-existent therapist.
Well, I didn't really care much for Godzilla growing up because at first all I had was like the '99 one with oh, what's his name? The guy who played Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. The one
Matt.
the one in New York where you get the babies and everything gets blown up. Yeah.
Yeah, and that movie wasn't good. But
That movie was great. Do you know?
no, it wasn't. That's nostalgia goggles.
No,
and you
no,
know
no.
it.
That movie was great for one reason. That one reason
That's a
alone.
lot of fish.
No, no. So, back in the 90s, there was this TV show with critics that reviewed movies. And the Godzilla movie hired two actors that looked exactly like them, put them in the movie, and then put them in danger, but didn't kill them.
And didn't
They,
kill him. Yeah, because it was Siskel and Ebert, and they were
yeah,
like, "You didn't even kill us.
yes,
How are you going to do
yes. It's
this?"
like, how do you put
I
someone?
do remember that. I do remember that
Yeah,
story. A
it's
critic
like,
I follow was
how
talking
did
about
you
that.
put us in this movie with a monster that we're going to review, and you didn't even kill us off? Not a chance. Like, oh god, that's so good. But yeah,
That is funny. Yeah,
but to go back to my
but it was still a
digression.
bad movie.
Yeah, but just go back to my digression kind of thing of it's a very weird place because we're still drawing from traditional media. And
Yeah,
if we want to get this influx of people, if we want the whole 6-7 crowd coming in, uh, we need to be looking.
how about the whole 10 to 14 crowd coming
No, no,
in?
no, no.
People who
See,
can understand how to play the game.
this is how old Cameron is. He didn't even understand that 6-7 is a reference to a Gen Z meme. Not even Gen Z, Gen Alpha meme.
No, because I don't know any Gen
Yeah.
Alphas.
But that's
If
the
I
whole
tried to hang out with Gen Alphas, I'd get put on a list.
But Zilla's mid. Zilla, yeah, Connor, you're completely correct. And if you want to jump into the call, Connor, I'll happily send you a link because you were one of the people like we wanted to chat with. But solo leveling would have been great. If we got a solo leveling set, that would have been great because
I was shocked that we didn't get a solo leveling set announced for 2026 after the experience bundles were
the
announced.
incel Giga Chat community would have absolutely loved it. Is it the kind of players we want? Maybe not. But it would have been an influx of them. Critical Role keeps getting bigger and it's not stopping.
Yep.
Critical Role Campaign 4, and this is a video I need to make anyway, is a Universus set waiting to be made. 13 characters, all with all with like specific class and skills and attacks and setup and backstories and these aspects to their personalities that builds into these symbols. It's a set. It's a set that's designing itself. I feel like we should.
And we still need campaign 3. We still need the villains of Exandria set. Critical Role should be our tentpole series.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying there. But we should also be looking at things like the Hellverse, Helverboth, Has Been Hotel.
I don't know how well that would translate.
Very well. Very well.
Considering how it's for mature audiences, I know a lot of kids are watching it, but you still gotta be iffy with that.
Doesn't Tekken and Street Fighter have things like where you rip people's spines out or like?
That's Mortal Kombat.
But there's still mature content in there. I mean, the whole.
Yeah, but you don't have such like suggestively sexual stuff going on like you do in the Helliverse.
Didn't we end the the roadmap with a shot of Cammy's butt?
I'd have to watch the video again. I only watched it once.
And it doesn't matter anyway because kids are seeing it. There's kids Flynn's age that are asking for like Disney princesses and stuff to do Has Been Hotel stuff. Parents, there are bad parents like that, and we can monetize that.
That's a very dangerous downhill slope that I don't think we need to get on this podcast.
Right, let's go left field. The Amazing Digital Circus could be a very good get.
I still need to watch that. I like the character designs, but I still need to watch
the Knights of Guinevere. There's there is YouTube shorts and there is stuff. There's YouTube material. There's animated things out there that are not owned by massive stuff that could work with us that are very popular, and that's why like Prime is able to pick up things like the Hellverse, and Netflix was able to pick up the Amazing Digital Circus, and Glitch Media is a hell of a thing now. They've released a load of stuff this year, and they're doing a whole convention like talk about it. There's a movie coming out. There's a movie out which is not available in the UK for a manga called The Omniscient Reader, and it's a guy who is reading this like fantasy story of a dystopian world, following the protagonist who's going through all these hardships, and it turns out he's the protagonist. and the story starts playing out for him, and he's able to become omniscient because he's read the story, so he's able to avoid everything. And that's now getting an anime,
Interesting.
and that could be a very cool challenger set for us. There's very popular light novels and manhwas, and looking at like the shonen fighting esque, like the fairy tale My Hero Academia things. As an anime fan, it feels outdated. We're no longer in this good versus bad shonen anime era anymore. We're in the gritty grey area consequences of your actions thing.
Like Demon Slayer.
Even Demon Slayer, after Infinity Castle was huge. It's got Hollywood hating it, and that might make it a bit harder for us to get hold of. But there are so many shows, and I know Hitch and Matt and Bill are going to be absolutely hating me for this because they can't have access to these IPs until they're out, and you can't know what's going to be popular. Similar to like
Until it's out.
into our regional promos, they don't know what cards are going to be meta defining and have to kind of predict it. But there are
That's why I think they should go back to alt art characters for like regional promos and stuff.
But there are some things out there, like soul leveling, we don't know what happened. It's an absolute shame. And if the deal did fall through, that is an absolute shame. Well, we will never know. But soul leveling would have been a huge one. Critical Role, it would be a great tentpole. There is lots of shows and animated things and fighting games and stuff that's out there that we could kind of get some kind of stuff off. But it's about understanding the trends, and I think one of the big things is I can sit here and say this game needs to advertise to the younger audiences, but it's a hell of a risk because if they pick up IPs, if they pick up this younger market IPs and it fails and they lose the 40 something, the late 30s, 40 something crowd doing that, the game dies. So,
yeah,
that's the kind of issue. And you have got players like myself and other people that don't care what's actually on the card. They just want to play the game because they love it. But
yeah, I don't give a damn about Attack on Titan.
But
I'll be completely honest.
When we moved away from MHA only, we lost a lot of people. And Critical Role brought a lot of people I know back in. There was a lot of people like, I'm only going to play MHA, I'm only going to play Spotlight, and then I showed them Critical Role cards. I showed them the art, the IP, what the cards did, and they came back and they carried on collecting. They got into UU. They really got back into it, and that the cards can hold us in when they're designed well. But these IPs, I was very hyped when I saw these IPs, but then I showed them to Robin, and Robin was like, "Yeah, okay, cool, yeah." Fairy Tail's the only one. My Hero and Fairy Tail's the only one they really cared about in here, and even then, they haven't cared about them in years. And my head went, "That's a good point." And then I was looking, and then my brother-in-law came over yesterday to look at the new house, and I was chatting to him, and he's like, I don't care about any of this stuff. And he is college-going age, and he doesn't care, but he could talk for hours about Hollow Knight. And I'm like, cool. Hollow Knight is actually a great pick, a great kind of thing to get. And it's just one of the things that K-pop Demon Hunters would be an absolute steal, but every single,
especially if we're doing three character challengers,
three character challengers, Sancha Boys versus K-pop versus Huntrix sells itself, but everyone's going to be going after that, and Sony didn't believe that enough, and it's very hard when companies are scooping up these IPs ridiculously quickly as well. Disney's picking up everything it can, Marvel, Star Wars, everything like that. Netflix and Amazon Prime are picking up these these like YouTube series as soon as they start gaining traction. So it becomes tough because it's no longer, say, UVS dealing with glitch animation for the Amazing Digital Circus or Murder Drones. It's them dealing with Netflix, and
Yeah.
Netflix are going to push for the best deal that comes out for them.
Yeah.
And
That then you're dealing with bigger corporations, and that's even more money you got to shell out, even just to get in the door. And then they probably are going to be much more tightly controlled on what you can do and what you can make, and that makes sets take even longer to make.
yes, and that's the kind of thing. Not only going to have to work 2 years ahead, so something like the Digital Circus isn't going to work because it's got 10 episodes total, and episode 10 will probably come out mid next year. So
Yeah.
it becomes a lot harder. But say Epic the Musical, if you get hold of Jorge and you can incorporate Epic the Musical into the cards, in it's a weird one, but we did Star Trek, we can pull it off. You could work, and because that story's already been done, you're kind of you're doing the journey of Odysseus, but you're doing it through Jorge's kind of envisioning of it, and then you could work with him because you know how the Iliad's going to go. You can work with him and find out what the changes are going to be, what he's going to be doing to the Iliad outside the main story. You can have like your tentpole cards for that set, but you can have an Iliad Universus set ready to go with that. Again, it's a bit of a tough one because Epic the Musical, these are the trends kind of thing. And this is what I
Do you
think.
think?
Well,
Go ahead.
so and I think this is where things like Universus Beyond and Universus Beyond and other ones are struggling with because everyone that's designing it, everyone that's looking at the IP is our age. So we're picking up stuff that we think will work, and we're following the Reddit trends and the SEO trends. And yeah, Fairy Tale will keep popping up on the SEO trends and the Reddit trends and when you're data mining because conventions keep happening and people keep cosplaying and people keep doing well. You'll always find Fairy Tale groups at conventions, but you need to find the people that are going to invest the time as those fans into this game. And I think it's just I don't want to be negative about the 2026 roadmap. It's a hype roadmap. These IPs are
Yeah.
really cool, but again, it's a subjective cool. Objectively, I don't think there's anything on there that we're going to be seeing that isn't under a year old. Because even the My Hero Academia stuff is going to be the latest fight, and that's the kind of one that saves us. All these games, all these comics from Godzilla, everything we're seeing from Fairy Tale is very old.
Well, Street Fighter 6 is only a year old, isn't it?
Is it? I thought it was older than that. When did Street Fighter 6 come out?
Came out in 2023.
There you go. 3 years old. 3 years
Where
old
did
when we get the set.
where did the time
When we get the
where did the
challenger.
time go? Well, again, that could also be the problem with projecting everything out 2 years. You're never
Yeah.
going to have anything that's under a year old. Do you think that this could be I think I just answered my own question. Do you think it would be useful to have a non-IP set? Something that they designed themselves, kind of like how they did for Red Horizon back in the Jasco days, create their own line that could be something that we can bring in people for the game and be like, hey, this is their unique original idea that we can follow along and progress as players as well.
So I don't think we're going to see Red Horizon back at all ever.
No, I've heard that we are absolutely not getting Red Horizon back, but something like Universus's own, like they design it from the ground up. It's like IP agnostic, and we just go with it. Maybe we get one set of that or one challenger of that, either or a year, and it kind of tells its own story that can be something that like we experience as players of the game, as enjoyers of the game,
Yeah.
not just as enjoyers of a
Um,
specific IP.
I'm just going to quickly answer Connor's thing here. To be fair, UVS didn't look like it was going to have fighting games back when that came out. True, nobody saw like this fighting game heavy roster coming, and I know the old heads are absolutely loving it, and there's some people that are coming back to the game to look at it because I've literally played a game last week against someone who joined in with League of Villains, uh, and then came back because of King of Fighters. But I think I think there isn't enough. I think the company isn't big enough and doesn't have the time because of its size to make a brand new IP. What they could do is, to put it bluntly, steal the original Magic the Gathering design process, and similar to the demo decks as Connor's put in there with the Hercules and Sun Wukong, adapt IPs from mythology because that's what Magic did. Magic
I
took
actually like way back when, funny enough, I was talking to Jason who owned Jasco Games,
yeah
because I was there at I think my second Worlds, and he was asking, like what IPs would you like to see, and I was like, I think something that could be kind of relatively cheap for you guys, mythology. Like have a set that's like Greek mythology versus Egyptian mythology, or Roman versus Japanese or Chinese. Hell, you could even, I mean, granted, this is kind of a licensed IP, so HP Lovecraft's mythology, the Cthulhu mythos, bring those elder gods in, and we can just have this giant, god fight series where each one takes on a different mythology, and
yeah. But Magic was
it'd
already
be
doing
pretty
that at the
cool.
time. That was the issue. You've got
Yeah, but screw Magic. They've
yeah
had their heyday. It's our
yeah.
turn.
But you see what I mean though. We can take our own twist on that because I mean Marvel's done it as well. They've got four from Norwegian mythology. You've got Norse mythology. You've got Magic have done it. Like Pharaohs was all about Greco-Roman mythology. Kamigawa was all about Roman mythology. Innistrad was Eastern European mythology with vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. And there
Yeah,
is
just give me a set where I can play Niall Arthurtep, and I'll be fine.
that's it. These are all cheap. These are all public domain intellectually free properties, and it's what companies have done for years. Look at Disney. They took the grim fairy tales and turned them from dark lessons on what not to do in the Middle Ages and Dark Ages, and turned them into family friendly kids films.
And now that you say, public domain, I believe before he died, H.P. Lovecraft actually did make all of his characters and all of his stories public domain so that people could expand on the universe.
Yeah.
And now you have all these other authors and stuff contributing to their own. You have the Call of Cthulhu role playing game, which is basically like D&D, except hot take better. But and maybe that's just me, but I love horror and I love following Call of Cthulhu campaigns. But I even wrote a few myself.
Ooh.
But you could just do stuff like that where you're taking different mythos, different pantheons
Yeah.
from both, obviously like Norse, Egyptian, Greek, Roman, Chinese, Japanese, but also these public domain stories like uh, H.P. Lovecraft's different outer gods and stuff, and you can pit them against each other. And I think that, imagine the art. Imagine how hard
Ooh.
original art. Thank you for that. I got a cookie delivered. Imagine how hard original art for these god and
uh,
mythology style sets would go.
Connor's looked into it. Yeah, your all H.P. Lovecraft's like Cthulhu stuff. His writings are public domain, but see what, and then you could
Get on it,
also
Guile.
Connor. Well, you got it, Gal, yeah. But yeah, you see, I mean, we got like the fact that
Hmm.
the Epic the Musical, The Tale of Odysseus, when told correctly, was able to become such the massive hit it was, is in there because it's something we all learn. It's a universal history that we all learn at school. It's something we all have a connection to. And it's one of the things that these myths and legends and things that go through there are all things we have connections to. And going with the HP Lovecraft aspects, you could get some really good things from there, and you could again have these gigantic characters, and even if you just went down the lines of having them more on there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that gave their stuff to the world so it could be treated like the guy who invented the internet wanted to make sure it was patent free, or else we'd all be paying ridiculous amounts to access the internet. Uh, but then we can also go down things like you're saying. We could go with a Pathfinder set. These things that are always bringing these things that are always bringing in new players, and finding that Venn diagram of people that love these IPs but also want to play the games. And it's it's very easy for us to say this stuff because we're in front of cameras just talking about it.
No,
But
absolutely. We're just two idiots on a podcast. We
yeah,
don't actually know what we're talking about.
and it's just one of those really strange things. But I do feel Universus shoots itself in the foot a lot more than it helps itself. And it's one of the things that, like with my content creator video I put out, where I was saying Universus should be the one dropping the character reveals because they should be the ones getting the hype. They should be the ones getting the SEO and having people find the game by searching the characters, not us as content creators. And I expect it to get a lot.
And I had a thought about that. I know I told you I liked that video and I
Yeah,
think it's a really good idea, and I still do. But what
but
if they, because like I know Brodenkainen is amazing and you're amazing for all of the work you put into your videos. I'm so basic it's not even funny, so I understand why I'm not getting very many reveals anymore because all I do is show the card and talk about the card. But what if they reached out to content creators for scripts and voiceover? So it's like uh you they're like, hey, we're gonna show off this card, we have the video ready, or we're doing the video, but we want you to provide your voice with a loose script talking about what the card is, what the design process was, that we're going to put over it, and then we can in that video link to your channel to learn more about the game.
so here's the issue you're going to have with that. People are going to want to, if you want the big people to do it, like the people with thousands of followers and subs, and stuff like that, they're going to want to get paid, first of all, because it's not going to be on their
Well, I'm just
channel.
talking about little people like you and me.
Yeah, but but then we're not going to hit the reach. The big issue you're going to have with that is it's a lot of time and it's a lot of effort for UVS to do because everything that UVS posts has to go through the IP. So
Oh
they
yeah.
they write the script. It goes up. So we get Fairy Tale. They write the script. It goes off to Kodansha. Kodansha go, we don't like it. It comes back, has to be rewritten. Say it has to be rewritten 5 or 6 times to make sure everything in there is law accurate and is accurate to the IP. Cool. Then it comes to us and we record it and we send it off. And UVS goes over and goes, actually, can you change like the cadence on this word? Or can you like no, make it be a bit more hyped on this aspect, or you didn't mention the pre-release, or you didn't mention the partnership with Credential, or you didn't mention this aspect.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And then it comes back to,
Ignore me.
yeah,
I'm just
and
an
then
idiot on a podcast.
but once it gets past the UVS side, it got to Kodansha, they got to approve it. And I mean, from the emails we get, reveal the Guilty Gear reveal, them having a week to get their video sorted is an absolute amazing thing. They had a long
And again,
time.
that's why I am the most basic of basic. I have those quick turnarounds.
They had a long time to structure their videos. Response on Play were able to do a week-long countdown to theirs. And them
That was
having
pretty awesome, and their video was hilarious.
yeah, so them having the amount of time that they had to make these videos was really rare. Usually, we get told a couple of days before our reveal goes out, and we have to quickly, before the reveals start. So the first couple of people do not have a lot of time to edit and make these videos as good as they are.
I've always been lucky to be near the end of
Yeah,
the release schedule.
and mine,
I think every time that I've revealed something, I've been like in the last week.
yeah, and mine have been usually pretty close to stacks. I mean, Metalhead, I got that the
Okay,
Friday.
yeah, I did help with that one.
The Metalhead, I got told about that the Saturday morning because it was Friday evening for UVS. Monday we recorded it, and Wednesday it went live. And
Yeah, I took off work early to
yeah,
be
you
there for
did, you
that.
did. I appreciate it. So
You're welcome. You were just like, "Hey, I need help." Like, "All right,
yeah,
let me talk to my
I
boss."
need help record. I need help like reacting to a character kind of thing. So it's one of the things that we don't have the amount of time that we'd love to actually do it because it's very limited. When you go cool, adding all these additional steps becomes a lot harder. Which is
Yeah, I didn't
why
think about that.
yeah, so it would be one of those things that UVS has to do in house, but it still becomes very complicated for UVS to do because they have the same process just without us. So it's something I should have brought up in the video, and I apologize to UVS for not bringing it up in the video. It puts a lot more strain on them when they're already still a small company. But I was more focused on trying to generate hype for them
Yeah.
because, like you said, I make some good points in that, and people have come forward. They like content creators having them. They don't like content creators having them. They want them to be more scheduled. They got the conversation going, and that's one of the things I love about my content. I make such weird and crazy content that it gets a conversation going around it. But
Which is good.
yeah, it's really good. But it's one of the things that UVS misses out on a lot of hype. UVS gets overshadowed by other companies so much, and this game is so good, and UVS are trying so hard to make it accessible and easy to learn, but there's just a few pitfalls, and people in this community, the majority of us try our best to bridge those gaps. But there are so many people in this community that just want to be negative for negative's sake, or just want to rip down the fun people are having. And it's one of the things that you see on Discord. It's like people's first experience coming into this game should not be people just constantly complaining about it. People's
Yeah.
first impressions of our community should not be, oh yeah, the game's trash. We are so small, and we have to help each other out so much. As much as content creators and UVS are a two-way street where we're helping each other to try and generate hype for content, the community UVS is also a two-way street, and UVS does rely on us a lot to fill in the gaps between the starter deck and the competitive play. They rely on our community at the store level to be friendly, to be engaging, to be helpful, and the majority of us will be. But
Yeah.
that's not always the case. There are many, especially when we were back at the heyday of My Hero, there were many local players who were not the best. That were just and taking advantage and using new players to make themselves feel better. And new players did not like it. And there is something that UVS can needs to address. The store level is one of our weakest levels, and I know Josh is a big advocate for trying to get a better store level experience, and I really hope this new OP announcement helps with that. But I want this game to do so well, and when I see a roadmap like this, and it's like the old heads are going to love it, the established players are going to love it, the Godzilla fans are going to love it, the Fairy Tale fans are going to love it, the My Hero Academia fans are going to love it. I look at it and go, "Oh, cool! That's everyone in my age range." And it didn't hit me until like yesterday that there's nothing on here for the younger audiences. There's nothing on here that the Vice Sports or the new Magic players or the new UA players, and I mean, I can get to UA doing Yu Yu Hakusho, are gonna really want. And our art,
Yeah, because there's no like Jujutsu Kaisen or some of these other
yeah.
anime that have really popped off.
But Pokemon keeps getting new people in because they've got the games and the animes and they've got the other things that are bringing in younger people. They've got such a good self-sustaining engine over at Pokemon, especially with Pokemon Pocket and stuff like that. It is genius what they've built. But it's a weird one. And when we look at our art is really good. Our artists, our design team, do an amazing job. But if you look at like our Yu Yu Hakusho stuff versus UA's, Arena's Yu Yu Hakusho stuff, their chase cards are insane. And yeah, it's Bandai, it's what they do. They do really good collectible cards. But that helps them bridge that gap for them of going, we've got this old IP, we're going to draw in collectors. And it kind of diminishes what we had. I joined with MMHA, but as far as I know, before the pandemic, UFS and Universus was unique. We were the only one kind of doing what we were doing. We were the only one that was having IPs fighting against each other. We were the only ones that was.
I think we still are, except for like the whole Magic the Gathering thing.
But you got Union Arena doing it. You've got Vice Sports doing it.
True, but you can't mix and match in those games.
But is that a detriment to them? Because it goes back to what I was saying about Spotlight.
I mean, I'm not gonna play them.
Yeah, but it goes back to what I was saying about Spotlight. I could go get a Yu Yu Hakusho or Hunter x Hunter Union Arena set, and that's all I need. I don't need to buy JJK, MHA, any of that other stuff, because that's all I need to take part in events. But if I buy TMNT and go, cool, how I want to play Bishop. Bishop gets to do free build, gets team speed. What do I need to play Bishop? I go, well, you're going to need Cape of No Return. Okay, how do I get that? You need to buy Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh, you're going to need Tad costume.
Well, I think that's a problem when you're designing smaller sets that don't have like an IP that only has one set versus an IP that might have more.
Yeah,
I think that's where you get into a problem with stuff like that. Balancing it.
But you need to get people enjoying the game before you start telling them they need to invest in other IPs, because the gameplay is very good in this game. Don't get me wrong, the gameplay is very good. But if someone's joined because they love the IP, they need to experience the mechanics of other IPs before being told they need to invest in those IPs. So someone needs to have a format, someone needs to have a way to experience TMNT, Yu Yu Hakusho, My Hero, without having to rely on other IPs, so they can get a love for the game, so they can get invested with time and money in the game before so they can reach the level we're at of it doesn't matter what's printed on the card other than the text. Because My Hero drew me in. By the time we got to Yu Yu Hakusho, I was invested enough that I went away and watched Yu Yu Hakusho and fell in love with the anime before that. But I don't care about King of Fighters, I don't care about Tekken, I don't care about Street Fighter. Am I going to buy it? Yes, I am. Same with Guilty Gear. Because I want like the text on the cards, I like the game. And that is the level people need to get to. And at the minute, we don't have a format outside of pre-release that people get to experience that. I don't know if there's many people playing this on a kitchen top. There's not many people outside of regionals playing this like pickup games.
I think another thing that is detriment to where we're not getting a lot of pickup game players is because we're so small.
Yes.
If we were like a Pokemon or a Magic the Gathering, I think you'd see a lot more people playing pickup games.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that this Magic the Gathering and Pokemon also I get to do crazy stuff. For the last couple of days, I've been binging some YouTube content of people at Pokemon regionals, and they've been doing content challenges of their building decks purely from stuff they buy at these regionals and at these events. It's really cool. It's something that I was like, I couldn't recreate that because our regionals there's two vendors, whereas
Yeah.
at like these Pokemons they've got halls just for the vendors. And Connor's in there saying, "I'm calling this a recovery year to get fighting games back in for the people that left because of MHA." Yeah, and of course you got Zilla. Yeah, no, mate, this is a nice recovery year to get older players back in who may have left when MHA took over, when anime took over. But I'm more thinking long term, this is going to be a good recovery year to try and get some people back. And we have seen older players coming back into the game. Like I said, I played against one earlier. We've seen Luke Butler in the Discord a little bit more. I believe he's an older actual member of the company. So, yeah.
The name sounds familiar.
I get that this is going to be very hype for people that used to play the game, and that's very cool. What I'm really struggling with is what do we have that's appealing to the younger, newer audiences? Like when we got MHA 6 years ago at this point, MHA was announced. And then the pandemic hit. 4 years ago, MHA was announced. MHA at that point was 6 years old, and it was our biggest IP. And because it was a consistent IP, people knew what we were having. Yes, it had its issues with like the serialized sets following the seasons and characters being a bit weird inside the sets where they were canonically like Stain being in set 2 when he really shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
But it's just capturing the MHA feeling, getting the people. Because I mean, when MHA came out, when this game came out, I was in my early 30s, but we had people in their young 20s joining the game because they loved MHA. It's a very cool, complicated story that has some very cool aspects to it. But the anime trends have changed. The anime shows that are getting made now don't reflect the My Hero era. They don't reflect the Fairy Tail era. The shows getting made now don't reflect that.
This is why we need to get One Piece. Because that thing is forever old. It is still going. It's still got all the hype. We can do the abridged version that's coming out on Netflix, or we could do the live action one. There's so much One Piece.
There is a lot of One
We can make
Piece,
sets
but
forever.
I mean, it's going to be hard to break through its own game, especially with like the pricing and card level they have on there. But like we're saying, Critical Role would be an absolute great one to get, and you can follow that. And there's other table plays that are just as popular. Dimension 20 do a great one. There's Stinky Dragon, Dungeons and Daddies, and I'm not saying we become the TTRPG kind of thing on there, but I think it's time we move away from traditional media because that's what the people are doing. I don't watch TV anymore. I barely watch Crunchyroll because Crunchyroll has some very questionable operations at the minute. It's maybe time we start looking at what people a lot younger than us are looking at that we can adapt. If we can make a successful Star Trek adaptation and make it fit in this game and feel thematic, then we can get the Amazing Digital Circus, Five Nights at Freddy's, any of these weirder stuff, and we can make
Silent
it work.
Hill. We just got a new Silent Hill game.
Silent Hill, Alice in Borderlands would have been a cool one because it's all about games, it's all about probability.
Don't do that to me. I love it. I just finished the 3rd season. Don't do that to me.
But it has got an
leave it alone.
It has got an anime.
Leave it alone.
It has got an anime.
I don't care. Leave it alone.
That's what I'm saying.
Put it down. Put it down.
It's just one of those things that there's a lot of popular animated stuff, and I'm not saying go get Fortnite or Rocket League or League of Legends because they've got their own stuff, and I'm not saying go like
Hey, let's
yeah.
get Riftbound in
Yeah,
Universus.
and I'm
Let's
not saying
go.
go pick up anything that's popular. I'm saying go get Chicken Nugget or Gib and Bip or go get an ASDF thing, which although an ASDF one would go hard. uh, well,
Yeah,
yeah, World of Warcraft would be
it'd
a
be
good one.
funny.
South Park would be an absolute get, but you might run into some problems.
What about open world games like Dark Souls or Elden Ring?
See, those would be absolutely huge gets, and you could work. And outside of us, you could get the bigger streamers, the people, the speedrun communities, the people that do like the hardcore stuff on there would be absolute great ones to get.
Super Mario Brothers.
Eh, yeah.
No, that'd be bad. No, that'd be bad. Don't do it.
I mean, there's a second movie coming out. Hell, this is going to be a controversial one. You can do Minecraft.
No, you can't.
You
Put
could.
it down.
You could.
Put it down.
I'm just saying. I'm literally saying, if you got a chicken jockey backup, people would flock to get it.
And they would
But-
trash game stores worldwide, and we would be blamed. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to make.
I'm just saying. The second movie's coming out in 2027. We've got 2 years.
You spend so much time thinking that you could, you didn't stop to think if you should.
But there's one I brought up at the first summit that's got more things coming out. Assassination Classroom. It's very niche.
That's got more stuff coming out.
Yeah, it's got a whole new season coming out.
It's been like what, 15 years?
No, it had a season called. Either early this year or late last year.
Oh well, it's been on my to watch list for years. So,
but it's one of those things that it's like there are. Overlord has its 10 years. I'm really upset we didn't get Overlord. Overlord's 10 years old this year.
I thought God of High School would have been cool until I finished that anime.
The man was a lot better. But
so I hear. But that anime took a hard left turn.
Tower of God. Tower of God would be a great one.
I've heard that name before.
Tower of God would be an absolute still, but the God of High School is just Journey to the West, but with Korea.
Yeah,
because his whole thing
teenagers.
is
I just love the dude who has a book on human anatomy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna hit you with my bat here," and that's how he fought. I was like, I want to play that guy.
But it's just one of those things that there's stuff still coming out that could have possibly been better, but I don't know if we have access to it with Cadentia. Fairy Tail is a great one, but Blue Lock could have possibly been better. It's still got its shonen overpowered like kicks and strategies. You've got all this stuff in there, and it's got more stuff coming. It's got the Egoist League coming up soon, so it's still searchable. It's still hypeable. Demon Slayer would have been absolutely amazing to get.
Yeah, Demon Slayer absolutely would have been a banger. Jujutsu Kaisen would be absolutely amazing.
But you have got your like universal ones that will always be popular. You've got your Sailor Moon, your Death Note, the ones that people get recommended as the intro animes that could be called that.
Yeah.
Now,
a lot of people have been clamoring for Sailor Moon for like 20 years.
But Rave Master, Fairy Tail, Eden Zero, these are ones I love. These are the animes I came in on when I was like 18. Rave Master's a big one for me. But it's not one
Hunter.
Hunter's going there, but like Fearne would have been absolutely insane. But again,
or Deliciousness in a Dungeon, or my wife and our friend were laughing through Red Ranger isekai'd into another world or something like that. That show was
Yeah,
nonsense,
there's
but it
lot.
seemed like perfectly Universus shonen junk food to me.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some really long named ones out there at the minute. Naruto would have been a great one to pick up because of Boruto, but they've got their own thing kind of coming. But
Eh.
yeah, I say,
I only watched Naruto because a friend of mine told me I reminded him of one of the characters, and I was like, "Well, I got to see what you're talking about." And then
but
I was
yeah,
impressed yet mildly like insulted.
One Punch Man's got a new season coming out.
That would be dope. Just reprint Deku 1 as Saitama, just pitch your whole hand for 10 damage and just one punch somebody.
I mean, Saitama would be the hardest one to do, but
Eh.
there's loads. Lot of Mysteries, although not the best one. Now, this one's been kind
See,
of.
I'm like 3 episodes in and I still don't, or I'm like 4 episodes and I still don't know what the hell that anime is about.
I'm
Like I'm like these visuals are amazing. I have
Yeah,
no idea what the hell is
I
going
need to go
on.
back and watch it because apparently it's very complicated. But I kind of
So complicated. There's
Tojin.
stuff that happens in episode 1 that does not get brought up ever so far, and I'm like
But
4 episodes in.
here's a perfect example of like what I'm talking about. You've got Tojin Anarchy. Have you heard of this one?
No.
So Tojin Anarchy is about an underground war between demons and demon hunters. And these are just people that are born with powers. They have no control of it. They just have demon blood. They have Oni blood. And it turns out our protagonist is one of the chosen demons who has blood related to an ancient demon. He has super fire powers, and he has blood he can turn into guns that shoots bullets. It's got a lot of fan service, and it's just a dumb turn your head off anime about a group of students learning to master their abilities while one of them is secretly like an overpowered one that's learning to do it against humans who are the bad guys trying to wipe out these demons who just want to exist. And that is the most early 2010s coded anime on there. And it is getting ripped apart by anime reviewers and the new people coming in watching anime because all it is dumb fan service violence. It has no message, it has no story, it has no overlining plot. But then you've got
What about
Sakamoto.
Mashal?
Oh,
Mashal? Might and Magic?
if
I've
you
got a friend that popped off about that.
yeah, Martial Might and Magic Might and Magic would have been good if we'd have got it in the last 2 years. The main
I don't
issue
know how old it is. I just know a friend of mine thinks it's hilarious.
the main issue is with things like Mashal and the Rising of the Shield Hero and a lot of these animes that break convention. Once the convention becomes normalized, or once it becomes resolved, the animes can often just fall back into their genre's tropes. So,
I mean, isn't Mashal just reskinned Black Clover?
it's comedy Black Clover rather than edgy Black Clover, which was what Black Clover is. But once like people found out Mash had no magic and he had to prove that he could keep up with them even though he doesn't have magic, it just becomes a generic story about a guy without magic, but who has other superpowers. The fact that he could make himself fly by kicking his legs was over the top, but it was like he is super powered. Yeah.
So dumb.
Rising of the Shield Hero was about a hero summoned to the world, rejected by that world, and having to survive and grow and thrive in this world because the royals turned everyone against him. But by the end of season 1, he's back in the good graces. He is, although he's disrespected by people who hate the Shield, the people of the world are coming to love him, and the way he's using the world is manipulating it in a way that other heroes aren't, and it becomes a generic, overpowered anime. And you've got dozens of shows coming out now of people being either reborn into this world or going on adventures with parties, getting betrayed by them, and coming back overpowered to take them out. And that's the kind of way animes go. Now, you still get these turn your head off shonen animes, but they're not the popular powerhouses they used to be. People are looking for more people are looking for more complexity. People are looking for more depth to their characters now. People are looking to feel when they watch, not just watch things get destroyed. And that's where like these
You know a good feels shonen anime that I came across recently?
what's that?
Windbreaker.
Oh yeah.
Windbreaker. That show almost made me cry. And I'm not one to be like I'm not saying I'm like hardcore, I show no emotion, but it's really hard to get a
Yeah.
solid emotional. Like, I think I was the only person who didn't cry during Avengers Endgame in my entire theater. I was the only dry eye in the house. So, and I don't say that like I'm a big tough man. It's hard to hit that emotional moment for me. I almost cried during Windbreaker season 2, and I was like, "Don't you fucking dare do
The
this to me, sir,
the biggest issue we come
sir,
across
and or madam."
the biggest issue coming across any of these is we don't know what's getting renewed. And that's
True, but I would be okay with just a 2 Blitzbox Windbreaker set, and that'd be fine with me because it's kind of smaller cast. You have your team Bofurine, and then you have your team. I don't remember what the Yellow Jacket people are called. Like they have their little teams. The blue and white people, the Keels, they're just a bunch of assholes. No one needs to worry about them. But there's like certain characters that are just really really cool, and I'd love to see them explored in this game. Especially if we could integrate like part of their backstories and stuff into it, because like I said, there's one character that made me almost cry, and I'm like, you're a shonen anime. Stop making me feel things. But
yeah.
it's really good. So if anyone hasn't seen Windbreakers, go check it out on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I think we also anime is kind of becoming a depleted area as well.
That's because it's finally like mainstream. Back when I was in high school, anime was still that nerd shit that got you beat up in high school.
And
So
yet everyone was still kind of watching.
yeah, they just didn't talk about it because we didn't know about strength in numbers,
Yeah.
and jocks were still putting you in trash cans and rolling you downstairs. Freshman year was weird for me.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's very like I said all the way through this, it's very easy for us to sit here and go for that, but like as much as people hate chibi art, an Isekai Quartet set would go hard, even if we just used like stills from the individual shows as an Isekai Quartet. Because you get the Shield Hero, you get Overlord, you get Subaru, you get Sid Kagano from Shadow. You get loads, and it's a fun, dumb thing that's very popular. But we need the Venn diagram of people that will play the game that enjoy the IPs, and that's something that fighting games already give us. Because you get the people that love playing games, and they go, now you can play it as a card game. You can go offline. You can touch grass and keep playing with the characters you love.
Touch grass, nerd.
You can touch grass and still play the characters you love. But these games aren't like they used to be in the early 2000s. They're now online. They're not just you complete the game, move on. If we want to get that market again, we need to be looking at things like FNAF, Poppy's Playhouse, Dandy's World, these games that are self-contained, clickbaitable games that just go, you finish the franchise, but the story goes deeper. So you get invested. You get invested in the stuff that Film Fairy makes their stuff, that Game Fairy makes their stuff on, because these are very quick, simple games that you can complete, but people keep going back to them over and over. And I keep saying it, but a FNAF set or even a blitz spot, so a challenger would go hard.
Maybe.
And if enough
All
blitz,
the URs would just be the jump scares.
yeah, exactly. And then you can have, but the alt arts you could get the sister location versions or the cursed versions or the nightmare versions, and you've got the options in there. Uh, I'm trying to think of like any of the other games, but Flynn's not here to back me up because Flynn watches and plays a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, but Flynn went to bed like 4 hours ago. So
Nah, he's probably still awake in all honesty. But it's just one.
it's like midnight there.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things I see a lot. But you got people of like 15, 16 with these new brain rot memes, and people of our age don't engage with them. And we're getting to the point of our parents where it's like, I have no idea what kids are going on this day. And then the other day, Robin said like 6'7", and I did the 6'7" me, and he's just like, "You're too old to be doing that." I was like, never am I too old to be connecting with my son.
Hello, fellow kids.
Exactly. It's
Nah, I'm the old man on the mountain. That's always going to be my trope.
yeah, but I think
You will travel up the mountain to train, and that is it.
I mean,
I don't know about your 6'7s and your wickety whack and your hippity hop.
as much as I've complained about the roadmap, it's the most hype roadmap we've possibly had. Everyone is loving it. There's been
At least since we got announced that we got Critical Role,
yeah,
because that was pretty freaking hype.
but Apocalypse killed that hype, and I will die on this hill. Usually, I kill on the hill. This is the hill I'll die on. The momentum, the hype, the people we got from Heroes of Exandria was so quickly diminished by Apocalypse. It was scary, and to the point
Yeah,
where
which is why I thought we would need another Critical
Yeah.
Role set this year to continue to rebuild.
yeah, and it's also the fact that the information isn't out there for them because I'm still in the Critical Role groups. I've joined Critical Role. I love I'm on campaign 3 now. And someone posted that they pulled on a Laura Chrome the other day, so people are still open it. But then all the comments were like, "Oh yeah, I've opened so much of this product, but I don't play." And one person like, "Oh yeah, I watch videos on how to play, but I never found anywhere to play." And I'm just commenting, going, "Yeah, tell me where you are. I will help you find the place." And they're like, "Oh, I'm in X and X in this country," and I went, "Cool." I just went to UGN, put in where they were from, went, "Yeah, you go here." They have regular events every week, and I was like, sent them a screenshot. I was like, "Yeah, cool. There you go." So, but then a lot of them lost interest with Apocalypse because it wasn't a Critical Role IP, and the community's reaction to Apocalypse wasn't the best. We immediately got kind of down on it, going, "Oh, not more Attack on Titan." Or like we're bringing up the hate, the kind of animosity we already had for Attack on Titan for the other two sets, was able to put a lot of people off. But that's one of the things. Our tentpole IP needs to be something that will grow with us. And
Yeah,
a free set IP that was coming out over the course of 1 year that had already finished and was not getting any more hype was not the best. In my like
which is
video,
why we need Universus, Pantheons, all these gods,
yeah,
and even that, just Universus, Pantheons, and then set one is Roman or Egyptian. You could have fun little names with it.
well, that's why I think that the alternate universes play experience modes and stuff could be really cool. But it's something I brought up in one of my other videos as well. Soul Leveling got Anime of the Year for season 1. And what would be really cool to see would be a second print run of the Challenger with just a sticker on there that said Soul Leveling, yeah, Universus Soul Level Challenging, Anime of the Year winner 2025 or 2024. Boom, stick that on there because then you're updating your product or just like stickers that stars can put on it. It's I don't know. This game has so many pitfalls and troubles ahead of it, and the company is so passionate for making this game work and trying to make the game company so big so quickly that I think the basics are starting to get left behind. The store level stuff is starting to get overlooked. The IP selections are great for the established players, but I'm really worried about onboarding. And as a player, these aren't things I should be worrying about. And even as a content creator, these aren't things I need to worry about. But for some reason, my brain has now just gone, yay, which of these six is meant to bring in new players?
Well, new players is my specialty. So you let me worry about that.
I don't have a specialty. I get to do every aspect of the community. If I want to talk about new players, I can. If I want to talk about mechanics, I
True.
can. If I want to, yeah, I get to be the variety content creator.
Jack of all trades.
Exactly. But we've been going for 2.5 hours at this point. I don't want to end it on a downer because we've been talking a lot about things that should and shouldn't be coming in here. But and as much as I have kind of shit on it, I am actually really excited for Fairy Tail. The manga is really good. The changes and enhancements UVS did to the Attack on Titan manga, I expect to see in the Fairy Tail manga. And if we could get even one Jiggly Butt gang card, I will be very happy because they're an iconic staple. The creator of Fairy Tail and Rave Master and Eden's Zero has two character design. It has two character designs, which is what Natsu and Lucy look like, which is always the protagonist. And then you have Jalel, who the Celestial Wizard, who his character design shows up in all of them. Plu, the Snowman, always shows up in all of them. And then the Jiggly Butt Gang always show up in all of them. To the point in the animated crossover between Rave Master and Fairy Tail, they were some of the bad guys.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, the Jiggly Butt Gang are absolutely great. It's Fairy Tail's fun. Fairy Tail's very cool. Fairy Tail is going to be absolutely great, and it's seen as every single set, the visuals get better by let's say November, October next year. After 2 more sets, I expect these to be some of the best looking cards we'll ever see. But I just worry that this IP is a bit old at this point. I think that's the
Well,
nice
time will
middle
tell.
ground flavor.
Yeah, time will tell. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe we'll get an influx of people our age who used to play like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh and gave up on it because it's kid stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, I loved Fairy Tale as a kid, when I was younger and in my prime, in my heyday, and I love card games. Let me see if I still have that spark in me, and maybe we get an influx of older people with more money because they have adult jobs."
But then they have to find out about it because one of the things
Yeah, we're
that
still on YouTube. That's what boomers do.
that's actually a fairly good point. But
There's just silence. Just, oh,
no, what my head was thinking, like the advertising game we have isn't the strongest either because look at New York Comic Con. They've got a whole TMNT thing going on with pizza trucks and the announcement of the new Tales of TMNT comics and stuff like that. And MTG is getting all of that for them. And it's a shame that we didn't have our TMNT stuff out there as well. And I'm sure
yeah.
MTG would have had a lot to say about it if we did.
You just hold up our box. I'm sorry. Did you mean this product that you copied?
If
I just have a turf war. Would we be the Turtles or would we be the Foot Clan at that point?
I'd be just the guy with a sandwich board on me saying Universus did it better. So
Universus is the better Turtles
yeah,
game. Changed my mind.
yeah, just put a sandwich board on me that's purple with yellow lettering that just said Universus adapted it better. Just walking around, it's like, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, but that's
Changed
also
my mind. Well, what do you mean they did it better? I mean, you can actually play ours right now. Zing, got him.
I don't know. People were picking up the pizza bundles at New York Comic Con, but it is 10:30. I need to get some sleep. I'm going to be up early to take Fun to school. Uh, it's I usually I like leave a preview for what we're going to be doing next week, but we completely changed it from what I said last week, and we've got possibly more news coming throughout the week. So yeah, if you're watching on Twitch, hit that follow button so you can be notified when we go live for these. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to know when this stuff comes out. If you want to become a member and get access to all my content early, you can do it. Membership's now open, and I'm hopefully going to have by the end of this week content scheduled up all the way into November. So you've got 2-3 weeks of content to binge before anybody else. And if you want to get more of Cameron and find out a little bit more about how the tokens work for Roman Council, you can head over to UVS Hermit and check out some lovely videos on how all mechanics work and how they interact with each
I
other.
was like, did I do it? Did I do a video on that? Yes, there is a Hermit School video on the Roman cancel and tension and all that. It's all rolled into one video. Don't scare me like that.
Does it include that if it gets flipped, it disappears?
No, because that was just announced like 2 days ago. They keep announcing stuff after I've already made videos, and it's annoying.
I wonder what that's like.
So I leave. Yeah. So it was mainly going over the mechanics of Roman cancel and stuff. I will make another video specifically going over the token article, probably sometime this week. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and leave a comment on what IP you think would be a good addition to the game, because we know that Universus people actually do watch our videos. So
yeah,
maybe they'll peruse the comments.
Let me know what IPs you think would get people engaging in the game. Not just an IP you want, but an IP you feel the game could need. And
could bring in newer players.
What game is going to be appealing to Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta? What IPs are going to get this game?
I have to learn all my Greek letters.
What IPs will get this game another 20 years on the market? Because I want this game to be around so I can keep playing it with my kids, and if my kid has his own kids, where we can keep playing it. And because this is a really fun game, and no matter what the IP is, as long as the cards are still fun to play, I'll keep playing. But
absolutely,
if we can't get new people in, the game's only going to keep getting smaller, and that's a real shame. Sorry to kind of end it on a bit of a downer, but it's just kind of where my head is at the minute. We're going to head off now. Thanks for being here, Cameron, and go check out UVS Hermit. You going to be going live anytime soon?
No.
Well, then make sure
every time I go live on Twitch, I'd have to reteach myself how to do it because I do it so infrequently. But no, I will be doing live preview reviews. I'll be, once all of Guilty Gear is dropped. Normally I do them like, oh, well, the characters are revealed, so I'll do that. I'm going to break them into lives going over each different rarity, because it's such a small set. So I think I'll do that once the full Guilty Gear set has been revealed.
That makes a lot of sense. And my partner goes away to the Netherlands on Tuesday, so I won't be going live. But once I've got my room finished being set up, I'm going to try and go live a bit more. And I'm going to try and rope Cameron into doing some live games with me of either retro, standard, or maybe some pre-con stuff to help new players learn how to pick up the game. Because I think that'll be quite good content-wise. We will see you all next week. And if you've got your local championships coming up, best of luck, and make sure you talk to your local stores about getting involved with the Ford and Jester PvE promos, because these embossed promos look absolutely amazing. We'll see you all at game night, and this has been Brett and Cam with UK Versus. For theories, news, or more, win, lose, or draw. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Take care.